We'll finish the sleeve lap. Okay? But I just wanted to, again, show you the body of the blouse, right? So it's French seams everywhere. And then at the neck shoulder, again, it's wrong sides together. Make sure that the neck matches, you know, and again, stitch it a quarter and then flip it, trim it a hairs, flip, all right? So that you suddenly have a blouse, right? Okay? So that's done for the moment. Okay, so now our sleeve. Okay, sleeves. All right, so now that this is stitched on, all right, you've checked for holes and all of that, then you press the whole seam toward the little part. Press the seam up toward the bias. Up toward the bias. Finger press is good on this fabric. If this were silk or something, you'd have to go to the iron. Use a press pot. But just press it toward the little part so it all goes up. On this side, it should look like it's an even width. If it doesn't, you've done something wrong. Show me, all right? And we'll figure it out. All right, everybody good? Then match this straight edge of the bias to the other straight edge of the bias. Fold it so that this edge of the bias touches and meets, just kisses, the first straight edge of bias. All right, just fold it toward the wrong side, right, toward the inside. Fold it so this edge of the bias meets that edge of the bias. Straight to straight. Straight edge to straight edge. Straight to straight. Straight to straight. Straight to straight. Okay? Straight to straight. Okay? If you see it twisting, stop. You're forcing it in one direction or the other. Just bring it directly around. And here, honestly, it's easiest to go to the iron. I'll put some pins here just to make it match. But honestly, it's easier for you to go to the iron. But if you see any twisting at all, stop. You're forcing it in a way it doesn't want to go. Keep it straight too. Right. And it is biased, so it does stretch, so don't stretch it, okay? So I'll do it the hard way. If I put my pins in here, then now I have to put pins on this side so I can work. Or I can run. Let me go to the iron, it's easier. Let me just iron. Take my pins out. Okay, now, this part is what's on the inside of the sleeve, like your sleeve, Tawa's sleeve has it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap the bias over so it goes past the stitch. I'm planning on doing a crack stitch. You can do this with a hand stitch, like the kind of like the blind hem stitch we did, except it's shrunken, so it has a new name. It's called hand fell, but it's the same stitch formation, right? Or I'm going to show it as a crack stitch. So I have to take this and fold it toward the inside of the sleeve, just past where the stitch is. So on this side, I go past the stitch. On the inside, I go past the stitch, beyond it. Cover it, hide it by about a 1/16 of an inch. All right? So I just go past that stitch. Take it, fold past the stitch. I'm encasing the seam allowance inside this bias. Okay? So when I do it for real, I'm going to take it past the stitch and I'm going to pin. I'm going to do a crack stitch. So I'm going to pin through the layers in the groove of that seam, of the sleeve seam. And I have to make sure I got fabric underneath. The fabric underneath is called lip. You have to have a lip or a margin, all right? So that's why you have to bring it past if you're doing by machine. If you're doing it by hand, you just simply match the fold to the stitch, okay? But if you're doing a crack stitch, you have to go past it so when you pin, the pin catches fabric below, right? So I bring it past the stitch, in from this side, in the groove. And that's also where I'm going to stitch. Okay, got it? Got it good? Check it. The goal is the thing looks the same with the bias lap. Continuous lap looks the same from one end to the other and the middle, okay? And you don't have too much, try not to have a whole lot of margin or lip on the inside. A fat 16th is great, you know, the 16th or a fat 16th. If you got a full 8th, that's a little wide. So, you know, try to keep it nice and even. And again, your pins are, anytime you want to hold really well with the pins for stitching, do parallel pins. It's like stitching with a needle and thread, right? Like basting, right? Like we did on the dicky at the neck, the collar and all that. But if you shouldn't have to baste this, you could even baste, but honestly, if you do the pins right, you don't have to do that, all right? Just make sure that from one end to the other, you have fabric. I'm getting a little close here. I'm going to unpin and give myself just a drop more, because this is safer, right? I have a little bit more to catch, all right? You understand what I'm talking about? Can you see? Yeah? Because it's hard, I know. All right? This end I'm a little close. I like this end better. Gives me a little more fudge room. All right? So let me fix that a little bit. Oh, it's really warm, wasn't it? All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, yeah, I just feel. Okay, that looks good. So then, of course, we're gonna do that famous crack stitch. So the stitch is not on the bias, it's not on the sleeve, but it's in the groove, okay? And also notice that my bias isn't twisting, it's just laying nice and flat, okay? So hopefully I can get in there and stitch it right. There's no need, you've been doing a lot of changing a stitch, check your stitch length is back to normal, and just stitch. Oops, not that fast. Keep the pins out first, okay? And again, just like when you stitch this in place, take out the pins just as you need to. Let them help you, you know, until you need to remove them.